Alright guys, tonight we're going to make some collard greens. So we're going to pick some out of the garden. Actually that's a turnip green leaf, but most of them are collard greens in here. When we bought the seeds at the feed store, they kind of gave us some of both. But anyway, let's get us a few picked. And you want to give them a nice shot of our collard greens. That's a pretty nice one. So anyway, tonight we're gonna have a good pot of collard greens. How does that sound, babe?
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so we'll see you guys in the kitchen in just a minute. So anyway, I just got out of the garden, picked the collards. I'm gonna start cooking some. So what I'm gonna do first is, this is how I do it, right? Set the pot on medium heat, and I go ahead and start the bacon in there. That's going to be the same pot that I actually cook the collards in. But I'm just going to slice up some bacon. I've got about 4 slices here, and get that cut up. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's just for that seasoning. All right, so I'm going to put it in there. And I'll actually get a spoon and break it up and go ahead and let that start cooking up good. And I'm gonna fry the bacon down pretty good, and I'm probably gonna add a little garlic and stuff when it gets towards the end. And then we're gonna add our water, and we'll probably put a little bit of chicken stock in there, and then we're gonna put our ham hocks in there and let them cook for a while. The first step I do is I go ahead and cook the bacon in there. The reason I do it in the pan is because I gotta leave all that amazing bacon grease in there, you know, for flavor. So anyway, we'll let this cook and we'll get back with you guys in a minute. Alright y'all, so we got the bacon cooked down pretty good right now. I'm gonna go ahead and I've got 1 small onion. What the heck, I'm gonna throw that in there. I don't do it exactly the same every time, but that sounds good. So we'll let that cook in the bacon grease, and we're gonna throw in some garlic, of course, that's a necessity right there. So we're gonna let the onions and the garlic cook for a second in the bacon grease, and let our bacon go ahead and finish out. And what we'll do next is we're gonna add the water to it. When this is ready, we'll add a little bit of chicken broth. We actually got some powder. It's like a bouillon, but it's like the Asian version. And then we're gonna add some ham hocks in there, and we're gonna let that cook for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, till the meat's falling off the ham hocks, however long that takes. Alright guys, so I have maybe, I don't know, 1.5 quarts of water I'm going to put in there. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more than that. I don't measure anything around here, I just do it by, you know, how it looks and feels and tastes. So we're going to turn it back up to high. We're going to let that mixture start heating up good. And as we do that, that's enough for now. I can add a little bit. Let's go ahead and put 2 of these smoked ham hocks in here. Show them that goodness there. I'm gonna put a little bit of this in there, but you can use chicken bouillon. You can use no chicken broth if you want to, but I'm gonna use a couple scoops of this because that's what we have. Put 2 scoops of that in there. I do it a little bit different every time, but I taste it as I go, so I make sure it's good every time. So you can always change up the recipe to whatever you like. But the bacon, the ham hocks, that type of stuff is what's important. Alright guys, so I know that these are good collards. I grew them in my garden. I don't have to worry about pesticides and insecticides. It's still cold outside. It was 25 last week. There's not a lot of bugs. But I am going to go ahead and rinse these. I'm going to rinse them whole, and then I'm going to de-stem them, and I'm going to chop them up and rinse again. All right, well, join us in a second. All right, so I'm just gonna rinse these out, and then I'm gonna take them out and strain them, and then I'm gonna de-stem them. Now you can leave these stems that are maybe from right here to the end, that'll be fine. You can actually leave all the stems if you wanted to, but these don't get quite as tender, so I like to take these out. So I'm just gonna wash them probably 2 to 3 times. These are pretty clean actually, because I picked them, I made sure all the dirt was off, you know, as I went. So anyway, all right y'all, so I'm gonna show you kind of what I do. Bring the camera down here and let's show them. I'm gonna go ahead and do this and de-stem these guys, and you can actually, I'll cut it right there and I'll leave the rest of the stem. And then, I don't know, roll them up kind of like a cigar maybe, or whatever you want to say you're rolling up. And then go ahead and cut them like this. And sometimes I just use scissors and do it right over the pot. But that's gonna be pretty much it for that. I've already washed them about 3 times. May give them one more rinse, but like I said, these are clean, so I'm not really too worried about it. All right, y'all, anyway, we have this ham hock that's been cooking in there for a little over an hour with the bacon and the nice juice that we made. We'll start breaking this apart a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the bones in there to get a little bit more flavor out of it. But we're gonna take these collard greens that we've washed and we've cut up, and we're gonna put them down there if I can do it without making a mess. I like a little bit wider pot, but this is what we got. We're using our big pot to make, show them that chicken kadu. We got some chicken kadu. Watch our other video on that. It's a Guam recipe special. But anyway, we got our other pot that we would normally probably use for this, cooking the kadu. So we're gonna stuff our collards in there, and you can fill this way up because they're gonna cook down big time. So anyway, we're gonna add a little bit more salt and pepper. Let's get our salt here. And honestly, some people put sugar in there. I'm not gonna put sugar in these because we had a lot of frost, and I think it's probably gonna be pretty sweet already. I'm not really worried about them being bitter. So anyway, we're gonna let that start to cook down. All right guys, so we pretty much finished up our collards, and yeah, take a look in there. I still got the bone in there, trying to get all the flavor out of that I can, but I broke down some of the meat that's in there, broke it off the ham hocks. So anyway, that's essentially what it looks like. We're just gonna get a little taste test. This is actually some stuff we made out of our garden. Pepper sauce. Don't use hot sauce, use pepper sauce.
That's the way you do it, right?
Vinegar, show them that. Show them the bottom of that. We got some nice garlic in there. We got some Tabasco peppers, cayenne peppers. Anyway, so we're gonna throw that on there. And we'll find us a fork. All right, so we put our pepper sauce on there. We're gonna get a little taste test, and they're super, super hot, so try not to burn myself. Really good. Really good. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fresh out of the garden only a couple hours ago. All right, well, I appreciate you guys joining us, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Have a good day, and we are out of here.